JT Torres humbles trash-talking blue belt at seminar. Really, bro? You thought you could escape me? Carson, one of my old nemesis who's also only a blue belt, decided he wanted to post a roll against JT Torres. This is the same guy that constantly called me out thinking my jiu-jitsu and guillotines are trash, and this happened to him.
He always looks like he's sucking a dick when he's rolling.
Nonetheless, I couldn't miss an opportunity to critique his jiu-jitsu and see how he's doing on the YouTube world today. Let's watch the video together and see just how good Carson is at jiu-jitsu.
Okay, so one of the biggest things that I want to make a note of is during this match, I was very, very confident. And even though I'm going against ADCC two-time champion, I think confidence is super important. Otherwise, we're half-assing all of our attacks, or we're just not in the right mindset. So throughout this entire match, I genuinely believed that I could submit JT Torres.
No. Absolutely not. Carson, that is damn near criminal to say you could submit JT Torres in a regular rolling match. Do you remember how we went? I submitted you like 10 times in one round.
Carson, you can't get out till you say my name.
And you thought you were going to submit a two-time ADCC champion. I'm all for confidence. I think everybody should go into their roles expecting to try and win. And if I roll JT, you're damn sure I'd be trying to guillotine him. But at the same time, I understand that the chances of me guillotining this guy are damn near zero unless I have some really clean setup. But for a blue belt to say that, but then also roll like this, that is absolutely insane.
I think that's something that's like super important to talk about is you have to be supremely confident, but also respectful. I'm aware that he's a ADCC legend, so I'm not playing cocky, but I'm playing very confident. Unfortunately, at the start of the round, we're immediately getting rear naked choked without even hooks in.
Wow, that one backfired on you quickly. You got tapped out in 39 seconds in your own video by a man that wasn't even trying. He did a rear naked choke with 0 hooks. He could be rolling with you paralyzed, and he'd still be whooping your ass out there.
So for this next one, I'm actually pretty happy with how I handled it. My head's a little low and JT locks onto a headlock and then starts to sit into a guillotine. But with the guillotine, I go to my back, front roll, and then I actually go to the other side of his hip, putting my head and hips on the opposite side.
I will say that is a good guillotine defense. Anybody that can roll to the other side and make them try and work their way back up, that's the right way to defend it.
And what that does is it shuts down the guillotine from him being able to finish on the ground, but he goes to a 10 finger and he ultimately gets that guillotine.
Bro,
still,
what?
So not off to a great start, but
then he gets you
still
anyway
happy
with a
the
different
games, at least
guillotine. Just for the record, that's 2 taps in 1 minute 14 seconds.
So I decided to sit to guard because obviously my wrestling is not working right now, and I'll try to
I
one of my
agree.
main attacks
No wrestling for
against
you.
the dragon. But the way JT is defending this is by grabbing on my head and making sure my head can't hit
This guy really said he's going to kiss of the dragon on JT, despite after what's already happened to him.
the mat to invert, and I'm almost able to off balance him, but he closes that space under his hips, and he's able to shut that down. Job of
Passing,
reclaiming inside position
great.
and balling up. Before
So he's
then going
bringing his
chest
weight
down,
forward
hips
just so he
into
can
my
take
legs
the weight
and
off his
back
legs and
to
float
kick
around.
out.
So some standard flow passing. Then he
And for the
immediately goes
ultimate
into a
disrespect,
Kimura,
throw a peace
throws
sign
up a
out to the
peace sign
crowd
at the
before
camera,
taking my arm off
and gets another submission. I feel like I've already ragged on him enough for this, but if a dude's going to throw a peace sign at the camera and then lightly tap you with a Kimura, you may as well just shut the camera off.
So we start this next one up with a baby-like foot sweep, and I'm honestly really disappointed in myself considering all the practice.
Bro, you
I've
can't
had
even call that a
foot
foot
sweeping in
sweep.
kids class. Drag down of sorts. He'll use this to put me into turtle and then start to attack my
Drag
back.
down of
But the way
sorts.
I avoid it is actually something I learned from teaching kids class. Notice how I sit to my left hip, and I'm from here. I can either push off and be able to avoid his grips
Yes,
and
it's
avoid
really
back
good
save, and
that
finally
if
get
you
on top.
want to try and stop people from getting onto your back, is you need to just constantly peel the top hook and be turning down with your belly towards the mat so you can avoid them taking your back. But watch out for when they go to guard, like if they're gonna hit you with a Kimura.
One super
We
cool
see
thing about
JT already
is
has the
he's
Kimura and then
actually
just
one
kind of
the
lets it
people
go
who made my
because
knee
he's already
slice what it
embarrassed
was
Carson
today.
enough
I
today.
watched a lot of
He's
past
got a
them
knee
get
cut he's
together.
going through and JT stops it with no urgency.
And I think that's something really important to talk about as well, especially when you're going with really high-level opponents, is don't get too caught up trying to win the entire round. Just try to win a few certain battles. Like with JT, I just want to see how close I can get to this guard pass, or maybe my battle is actually losing and seeing how he's reacting and stopping me from getting these guard passes.
I would say that is a good idea. If you're going into a role with a higher belt, you should just try and win the little things. Try and set yourself a game plan so you can win those battles, and at least, even if you get tapped, you can walk away feeling confident in yourself that you acquired or achieved a few missions. However, that point goes out the door completely with how you started this video.
I can take these super high level reactions that he's giving me and build counters to them, which may not win me the round now, but it'll help my jiu-jitsu in the future.
Alright, he talks about some more technique, but the secret is that Carson's going for low passing and he just gets hit with a quick shoulder lock. We've seen Carson get submitted quite a few times, and one of the biggest issues that Carson has is he's just so small and weak. You gotta start taking things like your greens, or damn it, at least take some protein. Because Carson's attempted jiu-jitsu out there is criminal. I've pushed turds out that were more difficult than rolling with Carson. But with promo code Tyler, you can get 10% off at Transparent Labs. Then at least you can bulk up, so if you try and fight somebody as good as JT, you won't look as pathetic when you're doing it.
And I'm using this to occupy a little bit. JT has a struggle as well.
I can't watch wrestling
at this point where JT
Carson.
actually
No
whispers in
offense.
my ear. He's like, "Hey, dude,
Well,
can you
a
just
little offense.
chill out a little bit, not take me down in front of all these people." You know, he doesn't want his image to get shattered by this hunk of a blue belt. So, you know, I respect it, and I decided to pull guard instead. Got to make sure he's able to maintain his image in the community. One thing I wanted to
Yes,
touch on is
JT's
how
known
he's
for
always
he's
constantly
pressure
crowding
when
that space
passing. He's good at
inside of the
floating,
center
he's
of
good at
my
knee cuts,
torso.
he's good at head
So
quarters,
eventually he's able to scoop with that
and
left
really,
leg, and
he can
then
do
goes
anything he
for
wants
the
with
cut,
Carson.
getting past
Plus,
the
look how
guard
big
and
JT
defend
looks
that
out there
good
compared to
total.
him. He looks
Now
like
I
he
know
has
it's
at
coming
least
next,
20
so you're gonna
pounds,
see me
30
raise
pounds
my
on him.
right leg up in the air, kind of like a dog taking a piss. Counter that, he actually does a forward roll, and he's able to get the leg over and begin
Yeah,
working on the
despite
back.
that little
Now, able to
defense he
avoid the
seemed to
hooks,
make up on the
but
spot,
as
he
I go
still
to
got
defend
submitted
those, he throws another
instantly.
naked choke, and he'll tap me out yet again.
Bro, we're like
JT
5
actually
submissions
ends up
into this
pulling
video,
guard.
and it's
So
only
start
been a few
off using this
minutes.
hand swing I learned from Owen Jones. Basically, you're in mercy grips, you go palm to palm, you push them towards their back a little bit while spinning and rotating your hands around, and this should get them on their back, if not also get an angle.
Oh
After
yeah,
I'm
oh
passing to the
yeah.
left,
I'm sure you're gonna pull that one off on him. He's probably never seen that before.
I'll then quickly switch to the right, using my forearm here. But another
Technique,
pass does open up with a
technique.
position. Also notice his left
Technique.
greens comes into play once again, and he's early on the defense, funneling me right into an omoplata. Because of how broken my posture is, he's able to sweep me into mount.
Oh, that's a
and
really
then
nice
start attacking
transition
the
right into the
triangle
next
before making me
attack.
look like a
I'm sure he could have
white belt
armbarred, but he's
as I try
playing
to
nice with
frantically
Carson.
Get up to my feet.
Yeah, dude, scratching his head, he's not scared at all of
Come up to my
Carson.
knees. JT will then switch back into the omoplata, and right here, I'm gonna go for a very cheeky toe hold with his leg over the back of my neck.
I'm sorry, that toe hold is complete crap, and to think you're gonna do it to him is even crappier.
On 80cc veterans.
Bro, JT is scratching his head out there because he doesn't know what Carson's even attempting.
Sometimes you can get them with this, but JT
No, you
was
can't.
unfazed, and I'm gonna try to roll through, but he grabs my arm, and he'll close the day out with an armbar.
Another submission, easy one too. Now for the rest of the video, it looks like Carson just kind of goes into technique he did with JT. But here's the truth. If you're gonna call out the big dogs and say you're gonna tap them within the first 30 seconds of your video, you better get close to it. Instead, you decide you're just gonna get your ass whooped like most of us would. But you're gonna pretend like you thought you could beat him? That's crazy. All in all, I actually like Carson, and I think it's a really great experience to roll with somebody like this. If you want to see more videos by Carson getting annihilated, I mean really, that's probably half his videos. So go to his channel and check him out.